This is two shorts about true stories about Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. Is anybody here that doesn't know who they are? No?
I've never heard.
Really? Okay. Well, I'll give you a little,
Great
little
television.
background here. Jim and Tammy Faye Baker were TV evangelists who had a show from 1976 to 1987 called the PTL Club. Supposedly it stood for Praise the Lord, but most of us said it was Pass the Loot. And Tammy Faye was, who died just 4 years ago. Tammy Faye was well known for her makeup. She wore a lot of makeup, and especially around her eyes, and she could get very emotional. When she started crying, it would just, just run down her face and all over everything. And they made a lot of money. They would, on the show, they would ask for donations, pledges, and they would sell all kinds of junk, and they were living quite well. It all came crashing down in '87 when it was revealed that Jim was having an affair with the church secretary and paid her $287,000 for a bribe to keep her quiet. And then, they started looking at some of the other finances, and so, I mean, they had spending money on all kinds of things, including air conditioning for their doghouse. So anyway, that gives you a little background of who they are. Now I have two little stories about them.
Animal friendly.
Okay, I guess you can call that. All right, the first story is about, very short. This guy Tom was working in a store in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where the PTL Club was based. And the store sold water beds. And Jim and Tammy Faye came in shopping for a water bed for one of their houses. And Tammy Faye saw this one bed. It was the most expensive bed in the store, and she just had to have it. It was just like, she just went wild. You know what was so special about this bed? It had a big mirror on the top. Now, if you've seen Jim and Tammy Faye, you know what they look like. Last thing, if I was going to have sex with either of them, I would not want to have a mirror, because if you're going to do it with either of them, you would want to be able to fantasize being with someone else, and the mirror would just sort of destroy the illusion. So, anyway, that's that story. Now, the other one is really my favorite. My friend Bill, back in college, at the University of South Carolina in the mid to late 70s. And one night, Bill and his friends were sitting around on a late Sunday night, bored to death because there was nothing to do. The bars were closed unless you had a membership in a private club. That's the way it was there. And nothing on TV. They didn't have cable. No one had cable then. And only like about 3 or 4 stations. And it's late Sunday night, so anyway, they decided to watch the PTL Club, just for kids. Not that they were into that kind of thing, but just have a little fun. And they decided to have even more fun. They decided to call the station and make a pledge, a phony pledge. So they did. And then a few minutes later, you see Jim Baker and his boyfriend, his male assistant, Mark, and Jim says to Mark, so do we have any new pledges? And Mark says, yes, we just got this one in, $100 from South Carolina. Oh, very generous. And who is this, who made this pledge? Who is this from? It's from the First Baptist Church of Smegma, South Carolina. Oh, Smegma. Where is that, Mark? I'm not sure exactly where that is. I think it's somewhere down in the Low Country. Maybe down here in Charleston, Goose Creek. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. A little while later, someone figured out there is no SMEC in South Carolina. And they figured out what it is. And if you don't know what it is, I'm not going to tell you. Mike doesn't want me to tell you that, does he? So go home and Google it. Right?
Please.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so. So Jim comes back out, and he's angry. He's been had. And he says, all right, listen here, Buster, we know who you are, and you are not going to heaven.
Okay.
All right.
Once again, Wayne, everybody's always awesome. Monday night trivia, storytelling, let's make it happen, let's keep it going. It's a great night, it's always the most fun.
Sorry, it's up on the foot.